is divided into two parts. One is the fourth day in the preliminaries of the Charity Cup tournament, the second event of the Meltwater Champion Chess Tour, and the second part is the recap of round 1 of the Grand Prix Chess Tournament 2022 League 3. So in the fourth day of preliminaries, this game was very interesting. It was played between Pragnanda and Jordan and Forrest. Pragnanda opened with d4. It was kind of the Grunfeld defense. Here white pushes his pawn, gives black this long diagonal, but he's trying to gain some space. Knight a5, white is not bothered about this bishop. Here he plays g4. Now black takes this bishop. White has to take this first. If he takes this, then he can also capture the rook, and his king is also weak. So yeah, he took it with a into b3. Bishop goes back. Black also weakens his king side. Both have pushed their g and h file pawns, and their king is kind of weak. Both players are playing very aggressively. This looks like a very attacking game. Here black's king looks more exposed all of a sudden, and it looks like white is attacking. White has an advantage, and here he plays rook into a7. His idea is after rook takes, he'll play rook into e8. This is what happened in the game. If you take this rook, then there's rook into b7 check. It's an intermediate move, and then you take the rook. So in the game, black took this rook, rook into e8, and queen d6 gives more advantage to white. Now this is completely winning. Queen f6 could have held the game for some time. White is still better, but after queen d6, white plays queen d4, king f7, queen h8, white's queen enters in. Black tries to give some check, but white stops it, and black cannot give any more checks. He runs with his king. He sacrifices the rook. Black doesn't take it because then there's knight e4 check. But anyway, this is losing after king h4. White plays queen d4, forces him to take, and knight e4 just pokes the king and the queen, and Pragnanda wins this match. And this is the standings after day 4 of the preliminaries. The top 8 players qualify for the knockouts. So from Li Guangliang till David Navarra, these 8 players have qualified for the knockouts. And these will be the pairings for the knockouts. Li Guangliang will face David Navarra, Magnus Carlsen will face Hans Niemann, Jordan and Forrest will face Ding Liren, and David Anton will face Jan-Christoph Duda. So this was the recap of day 4 of the Charity Cup Tournament 2022 preliminary stage. So for this one, we'll change the theme. Now we are in Berlin for the FIDE Grand Prix Chess Tournament 2022 League 3. So in day 1, this game was interesting. It was played between Alexander Predke and MBL, who is Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. This was played in the C group. In the A group, Andrei Stepanko drew against Oparin Grigori. On board 2 of the A group, Levon Arounian won against Hikaru Nakamura. In the B group, Vincent Kemar drew against Shakir Mamedov, and Daniel Dubov lost against Lenny Dominguez Perez. In the C group, Sam Shankland drew against Sovatsky, and on the second board, Alexander Predke and Maxime Vachier-Lagrave played against each other. This is the game which we are looking at. And in the D group, Anish Giri drew against Yu Yangi, and Nikita Vitigov won against Amin Tabatabai. So let's take a look at this game. Alexander Predke opened with knight f3, c5 and c4. It's kind of the English opening. And both sides will try to develop their pieces. White moves his knight to b5, knight db5. This knight was under attack, he didn't want to trade it. Knight db5 also threatens knight d6, and then he'll take this bishop. So here black plays knight e5, he covers the square. Bishop to f4, knight fg4 supports the knight. e3, he stops queen into f2, checkmate. So it would have been terrible if you would have not seen this. So e3, a6, queen a4. Black can't take this knight because white will take the rook. So black plays g5. Here white takes the knight. You can't take this pawn because then there is knight f3. It's a fork. So he took the knight, knight into e5, white long castle, and now he looks like he's going to attack. Black plays rook b8, now he's threatening to take, so white takes his knight back. Bishop to g7, now he can castle. Queen c2, black castles, which gives white a slight advantage. Should have gone for queen c7. But castles, this king is slightly weak because of the diagonal. This pawn is replaced by the bishop. So that's why. g4 by white. Knight into g4, h4. White just starts pushing his pawns. Now he looks like he has a strong attack. Black plays f5. There was a threat of queen into h7 and rook into g4. So f5 defends both. Bishop to e2. Knight retreats back. Here white plays e4. Knight into e4, which is not a good move. He should have gone for queen c5 and tried to defend his pawn and get his queen in the game. But instead he took the pawn, knight into e4. And now he also gets his important bishop away from the king. White plays rook g1, king f7, c5, queen b4 and a3, and black resigns because his king is very weak and his pieces are not so well developed. This bishop cannot move. Because of that, this rook is blocked. And let's say he moves queen a5, then there's queen c4, bishop h8, then white just comes in with his pieces, and this will be very bad for black. So it was a very short game from here. It was only 23 moves, and MBL lost this game against Alexander Predke. So now these are the cross tables after round 1. Levan Aronian leads in Group A, Lenny Dominguez leads in Group B, Alexander Predke leads in Group C, and Nikita Vitigo leads in Group D. So this was the recap of Day 4 in the preliminary stage of the Charity Cup tournament and the round 1 of the Grand Prix Chess Tournament 2022 League 3. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.